Hi, Victoria. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay. You seem a little bit like you got something on your mind, or did something happen this week after our session last week?
I'm just really kind of struggling with not sleeping really well. I don't know if it's like just really stressed, but not eating really good. I'm not sleeping. I'm just not feeling it. This week has not been super great, I guess.
Okay. So just to jump back, last week when you came in for an intake, we had discussed how you're in your graduate program
Yeah.
for social work, and you've started a new field placement, and you're still working your regular job,
Yeah.
and you have stuff going on at home.
Yeah.
So you're mom to a couple kids,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And so um just to make sure that I'm understanding you, that this is all still going on, none of that has changed, right?
Yeah, no, none of that's changed. And My daughter she does competitive gymnastics too, and so she's got some stuff coming up that's like now on our board. We have this big, huge running board in our kitchen where we try to like organize all of our like days and times where people are going to be this way or that way, what I'm doing, what my husband's doing, what my kids are doing, what everybody should be doing together. So, um, I mean, it's out loud and proud every day when I go by it to kind of keep me organized for all the stuff that's going on.
So that is, I really like that idea. So using that, so you have created this board that has
Mhm.
everything on it.
Yeah.
So are you using it for anything other than a schedule?
No, it's just mostly it's color coordinated. So my daughter's red, my son is green, I am blue, and then black is family stuff. So
Okay.
if there's something in black, that means everybody is supposed to be doing it. If there's something in, green and so on.
Okay. Well, I really like that organization system. It seems that you have a really good ability to keep yourself organized. And what I'm getting is that organization is really important to you right now because you have a lot going on.
Yeah, it like feels a lot of times like incredibly overwhelming, and it just seems like there's just not enough hours in the day, and then like sometimes like that might be like a piece that's kind of keeping me up at night, that I'm not able to kind of wind down after, you know I have a 12-hour day, that I'm not able to kind of shut that off, that piece that keeps going.
Okay, so I heard you say overwhelming, and I want to know how, in your body, how that's feeling. Like, are you feeling that during the day, or is it at night before you're trying to wind down?
It's probably more at nighttime when I'm trying to wind down, just because my day is so packed that it's like distraction after distraction, and so there's not a whole lot for me to focus on. I just have to get, point A to point B to point C to point D, and it's once I get that wind down time, I guess it's a little bit hard to kind of shut it off.
Okay, so you're feeling that overwhelming feeling at the end of the day when you don't have anything else going on.
Yeah.
Okay, and so like let's talk about that physical feeling a little bit of overwhelmed. What does that feel like in your body?
Um, I just like I can't sit still. I just am thinking about all the next things that I have to do, things that maybe the tasks that I didn't get completed in my day, that I know that I'm going to have to tack on another day or another time. Where do I fit that in? How do I fit that in? Is it going to get fit in? Is it important enough to, follow through with, or do I just toss the whole thing? So I don't know, maybe like feels a little, maybe just stressed. I don't know. Just, I don't know.
Okay. I like that you use the word it feels stressed.
Yeah.
So you're talking about these feelings that you're having, but you're also talking about prioritizing and using your thoughts. So with cognitive behavioral therapy, we are using our thoughts and our feelings and our actions, and that kind of tells us how we're getting to that end result. So what does it look like after I've had that thought, and then it makes me feel, and then I act on it? So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're going to be using a little bit here to kind of to tackle this
Okay.
this feeling that you're having. but you've mentioned that you have this really great strength of organization. So you're
I don't know.
organized.
You mentioned it. I don't know if I'm organized.
No, you brought it up. You did. You told me about your board, and I mean, I'm not there doing your board. You're there doing your board,
Sure.
and your family's there helping contribute to the board. So I think that employing that strength, that ability to kind of like categorize might be an effective way to prioritize those things that maybe aren't getting done, because we all know there's not enough hours in the day. A working mom in grad school, that's a big thing. And it takes a lot to be able to juggle and to wear all those hats. So I think being able to recognize that, which you do, saying, hey, I have all of this stuff going on and I realize I don't have all of the hours in the day to do it. Maybe implementing some of those strengths that you have for organization and that structure to kind of make a tier of those other things that didn't get done that day, or maybe that week. So one of my favorite things to do is just kind of take the big goal and break it down into smaller goals, because when we think about big things, that can lead to overwhelming feelings.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
So taking those big things, like you mentioned your daughter's gymnastics, and I'm sure you have a ton of stuff you have to get ready first.
Yeah.
And then just taking the big picture and then starting to break it down into little smaller chunks until you get to the tiniest little chunk, and then asking yourself, is this manageable right now? And if it's not, when? And that's where your strength of organization can come in, saying, okay, well, I need to do this on this day or that day, and maybe creating a system. So that, if you would like to work on that in here together, we can definitely do that. And we can check in to see, how those smaller chunks are working out.
Yeah.
But also I wanted to talk to you really quick about the sleep and eating and stuff, because that's also important to being able to keep your brain going.
Yeah.
That energy and the sugar and the carbs and protein is essential to keeping your brain running. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. So are you grabbing breakfast? Like, tell me what your day looks like in terms of eating.
No way. No breakfast. There's no breakfast. Well, sometimes, I guess, maybe sometimes I get breakfast.
Okay.
Sometimes I get lunch. Sometimes I get dinner. Since I work so late, a lot of times I eat really late, which is really crappy. So, I eat when I can. I guess I probably don't make the best food choices, because ice cream is way more delicious than broccoli.
Yes.
So, I probably, I know that I probably should be making different choices. I just don't want to, I guess. It would just be like one more thing that I would have to do, instead of just, then I'd have to meal prep, and then I'd have to do this and that. And I'd rather just eat the ice cream, which I know is really bad for me. But, it just feels like, just if I like sit and think about it long enough, it just feels like one more task that I have to get done. And I just don't have it in me to do it.
Yeah, adding one more thing right now is not something that you need. But I want to bring you back just a little bit, because you identified that you should be making smarter choices.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Yeah.
So that's okay, right?
I mean, it's gotta be, right?
Right. So that's what you can do right now. That was your one small chunk.
Okay.
So you had the thought of, I should be, but instead I can do this. So that was using that kind of like, let's take the big thing and break it down to something more manageable. So right now you can get something to eat. Is it, that really amazing quinoa salad with grilled chicken? Maybe it's not. Is it just something from the vending machine, amongst your, gymnastics practice, running around, your internship, and your regular job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've done that already. So high five to you for being able to take the big problem and break it down into a chunk.
For sure.
And then, just kind of working from there. Because I feel that when you start using the big chunks and getting them down to little ones, you're able to kind of see like, okay, you know, I've got these little chunks and I've pushed all those out of the way. So like, let's start breaking these bigger chunks down into smaller ones so I can push those out of the way too. Because feeling overwhelmed is not something that anybody wants. And I think that, you know, just kind of working towards bringing it down just a little bit is going to help with that overwhelmed feeling, and maybe with sleep and eating and everything. So this week for homework, let's do just like a food journal.
Okay.
Just even I don't care if it's Doritos and ice cream.
Oh, you're gonna see a bunch of that, so that'll work.
Just, you know, noting that you are eating, and even if it's at irregular times, just like jotting down, so that way you're like, okay, yeah, I have to eat. So that way you're getting something into your body, and then noticing how do I feel after I've eaten? Do I feel better? Do I have a headache? Am I tired? Anything like that. So for next week, just work on, you know, just jotting down what you're eating and when you're doing it.
Okay.
All right. So I am gonna have you fill out the SRS.
Okay.
Just kind of check in to see how things are today. It's for your to record your progress. So be honest, and this is going to help us track. So I will let you do that, and we'll set up a time for next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
All right,
Victoria.
Bye.